Left Behind, Chapter 15, Part 2. Page 274. Sir, where do you get your encyclopedic knowledge of the UN and world affairs? We all find time to do what we really want to do. This is my passion. What is your personal goal? A leadership role in the European Common Market? Romania is not even a member, as you know. But no, I have no personal goal of leadership except as a voice. We must disarm, we must empower the United Nations, we must move to one currency, and we must become a global village. Rayford and Chloe sat in silence before their new television, taking with the fresh face and encouraging ideas of Nikolai Carpathia. What a guy, Chloe said at last. I haven't heard a politician with anything to say since I was a little girl. I didn't understand half of it then. He is something, Rayford agreed. Especially nice to see someone who doesn't seem to have a personal agenda. Chloe smiled. So you're not going to start comparing him with the liar with the pastor's tape warned us of? Somebody from Europe who tries to take over the world? Hardly, Rayford said. There's nothing evil or self-seeking about this guy. Somebody tells me that the deceiver is the pastor talked about would be a little more obvious. But, Chloe said, if he's a deceiver, maybe he's a good one. Hey, which side of this argument are you on? Does this guy look like the Antichrist to you? She shook her head. He looks like a breath of fresh air to me. If he starts trying to weasel his way into power, I might be suspicious, but a pacifist content to be president of a small country, his only influence is his wisdom, and his only power is his sincerity and humility. And his only power is his sincerity and humility. The phone rang. It was Hottie, eager to talk to Rayford. She was nearly manic with praise for Carpathia. Did you see that guy? He's so handsome. I just have to meet him. Do you have any flights scheduled to New York? Wednesday I have a late morning flight and come back the next morning. Then we're going to see you for dinner that night, right? Yeah, that's great. But Rayford, would you mind if I tried to work that flight? I heard in the news that the death report on that magazine writer was wrong and he's in New York. I'm going to see if I can meet with him and get him to introduce me to this Carpathia. You think he knows him? Buck knows everybody. He does all these big international stories. He's got to. Even if he doesn't, I wouldn't mind seeing Buck. That was a relief for Rayford. So Hottie wasn't afraid to talk about two younger guys she was clearly interested in seeing, or at least meeting. He was sure. She just wasn't saying it to test his level of interest. Surely she knew he wasn't interested in anyone with his wife so recently gone. Rayford wondered whether he should follow through on his plan to be honest with her about his past feelings for her. Maybe he should just jump right into urging that she watch the pastor's videotape. Well, good luck with that, Rayford said lamely. But can I apply for your flight? Why don't we just see if it comes up that way on the schedule? Rayford? What? You don't want me on your flight? Why? Have you said or done something? Why do you think that? You think I don't know you squashed my last request? I didn't exactly squash it. I just said you might as well have. I said what I just told you. I'm not opposed to your working on my flights. Why don't you just let them come as they come? You know the odds of that. If I wait, the odds are against me. If I push for certain ones with my seniority, I can usually get them. Now, what's the deal, Rayford? Can we talk about this when you come for dinner? Let's talk about it now. Rayford paused, groping for words. Look, what your special requests do to the schedules, Hottie. Everybody else has to slide to accommodate you. That's your reason? You're worried about everybody else? He didn't want to lie. Partly, he said. That never bothered you before. You used to encourage me to request your flights. Sometimes you checked with me to make sure I had done it. I know. So what's changed? Hottie, please. I don't want to discuss this by phone. Then meet me somewhere. I can't do that. I can't leave Chloe so soon after we've had a burglary. Then I'll come there. It's late. Rayford, are you brushing me off? If I was brushing you off, I wouldn't have invited you to dinner. With your daughter at your home? I think I'm getting set up for the royal brush. Hottie, what are you saying? Only that you enjoyed running around with me in private, pretending like something was going on. I'll admit that. I do feel bad about your wife, Rayford. I really do. You're probably feeling guilty, even though we never did anything to feel guilty about. But don't cast me aside before you have a chance to get over your loss and start living again. That's not it, Hottie. What's to cast aside? It's not like we had a relationship. If we did, why are you so interested in this magazine guy in the Romanian? Everybody's interested in Carpathia, she said, and Buck is the only way I know of to get to him. You can't think I have designs on him, really? International newsmaker? Come on, Rayford. I don't care if you do. I'm only saying, how does that jive with whatever you thought we had going? You want me to not go to New York and to forget about both of them? Not at all. I'm hardly saying that. Because I will. If I ever thought there was really a chance with you, I'd have pursued it, believe me. Rayford was taken aback. His fears and assumptions were correct, but now he felt defensive. You never thought there was a chance? You hardly gave me any indication. For all I knew, you thought I was a cute kid, way too young, fun to be with, but don't touch. There's some truth to that. but you never once wished it was something more, Rayford? That's something I would like to talk with you about, Hottie. You can answer it right now. Rayford sighed. Yes, there were times I wished it was something more. Well, glory be. I missed my guess. I had given up, figured you were untouchable. I am. Now, sure, I can understand that. You're in pain, and you're probably worse because you were considering someone besides your wife for a while. But does that mean I can't even fly with you, talk to you, have a drink with you? We could go back to the way things used to be? And except for what's in your mind, there still wouldn't be anything wrong with it. It doesn't mean that you can't talk with me or work with me when our schedules coincide. If I didn't want to have anything to do with you, I wouldn't have invited you over. I can see what that's all about, Rayford. You can't tell me I wasn't going to get the little let's be friends routine. Maybe that and a little more. Like what? Just something I want to tell you about. What if I told you I'm not interested in that kind of socializing? I don't expect you to run to me now that your wife is gone, but I didn't expect you to be ignored either. How is having you over for dinner ignoring you? Why did you never have me over before? Rayford was silent. Well, it would have been inappropriate, he muttered. And now it's inappropriate for me to any other way? Frankly, yes. But I do want to talk to you, and it isn't about brushing you off. Is my curiosity supposed to force me to come now, Rayford? Because I'll tell you what, I have to decline. I'm going to be busy, accept my regrets. Something came up, unavoidable, you understand. Please, Hottie, really want you to come. I want you to. Rayford, don't bother. There are plenty of flights to New York. There are plenty of flights to New York. I won't go through any gymnastics to get on yours. In fact, I'll make sure I stay away from them. You don't have to do that. Of course I do. No hard feelings. I would have liked to have met Chloe, but you probably would have felt obligated to tell her you once nearly fell for me. Hottie, will you listen to me for a second, please? No. I want you to come over Thursday night. I really have something important to talk to you about. Tell me what it is. Not on the phone. Then I'm not coming. If I tell you generally, will you? Depends. Well, I know what disappearances were all about, all right? I know what they meant, and I want to help you find the truth. Hottie was dead silent for a long moment. You haven't become some kind of lunatic, have you? We ever had to think about that one. The answer was yes, he had most certainly had, but I wasn't going to say that. You know me better than that. I thought I did. Trust me, this is worth your time. Give me the basics and I'll tell you if I want to hear it. Absolutely not, Rayford said, surprising himself with his resolve. That I will not do, except in person. Then I'm not coming. Hottie, goodbye, Rayford. Hottie, goodbye, Rayford. She hung up. Okay, so that's chapter 15 of Left Behind, part 2. Take care, everybody. Another video from my Storytime channel.